Now we'll start reading this new text called The Story of Ruby Bridges. Listen and follow along as I read pages 1 through 10 of The Story of Ruby Bridges, and look closely at the pictures and listen for the topic of this section of the text, or what it's mostly about. The Story of Ruby Bridges. Now, this isn't the beginning of the story, but this is a note that her mother wrote. It says, "Our Ruby taught us a lot. She became someone who helped change our country. She was part of history, just like generals and presidents are part of history. They're leaders, and so was Ruby. She led us away from hate, and she led us nearer to knowing each other, the white folks and the black folks." Ruby's mother. She compares her here to leaders like presidents and generals, so Ruby must have been really, really important. I'm interested to learn why. Here the story starts. It says, Ruby Bridges was born in a small cabin near Tylertown, Mississippi. "We were very poor. Very, very poor," Ruby said. "My daddy worked picking crops. We just barely got by. There were times when we didn't have much to eat. The people who owned the land were bringing in machines to pick the crops, so my daddy lost his job. And that's when we had to move. I remember us leaving. I was 4, I think." In 1957, the family moved to New Orleans. Ruby's father became a janitor. Her mother took care of the children during the day. After they were tucked in bed, Ruby's mother went to work scrubbing floors in a bank. Every Sunday, the family went to church. "We wanted our children to be near God's Spirit," Ruby's mother said. "We wanted them to start feeling close to Him from the very start." At that time, black children and white children went to separate schools in New Orleans. The black children were not able to receive the same education as the white children. It wasn't fair, and it was against the nation's law. In 1960, a judge ordered 4 black girls to go to 2 white elementary schools. 3 of the girls were sent to McDonough 19. 6-year-old Ruby Bridges was sent to 1st grade in the William Frantz Elementary School. So it sounds like she's not going to go to school with the other girls. It sounds like she's actually going to school by herself. Ruby's parents were proud that her daughter had been chosen to take part in an important event in American history. They went to church. "We sat there and prayed to God," Ruby's mother said, "that we'd all be strong and we'd have the courage and we'd get through any trouble. And Ruby would be a good girl, and she'd hold her head up high and be a credit to her own people and a credit to all the American people. We prayed long and we prayed hard." On Ruby's first day, a large crowd of angry white people gathered outside the Frantz Elementary School. The people carried signs that said they didn't want black children in a white school. People called Ruby names. Some wanted to hurt her. The city and state police did not help Ruby. The President of the United States ordered federal marshals to walk with Ruby into the school building. The marshals carried guns. That must have been really scary to go to school every day just like that. Now that we've read up to page 10, I want you to think to yourself about what were these pages mostly about. Now answer the question below to tell me the topic of these pages, and you can use the sentence starters there to help you. Once you do that, hit next to hear my thoughts and see if your answers matched.